Hello, all my blessed brothers and sisters. I am going to talk to you. I'm going to start a series based on what are the most asked search terms on the internet. I did one saying, what's the most asked search term about God? What's the most asked search terms about Jesus? What's the most asked search term about religion? And then I said, okay, and I got bunches of answers, by the way. I said, okay, out of those three, when you combine them, what is the most asked search term? And the top result apparently is, who is Jesus? So I'm going to do the best I can, in my humble opinion and ability, to tell you who I think Jesus is, while trying to understand that everybody I'm talking to is not a Christian, might not even have any ties to religion at all, might be an atheist, I don't know who's going to hear this, but I'm going to try to explain it the best I can, understanding that that's who I'm talking to, even though I have my own beliefs, obviously, on who I think Jesus Christ is, and we'll cover that as well. If you were talking to somebody who's a Muslim, and their religion is going to tell you that Jesus was a prophet. If you talk to somebody who's Jewish, and their Torah, their Bible, tells them also Jesus was a prophet. If you talk to a Christian, they hopefully are going to tell you that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, which that's a whole nother story we'll get into, who came down to earth and died and rose again in 3 days, so that by believing in him and that happening, we can be saved and go to heaven. So that's what Christians believe. What is that based on? I think some people, especially when you look at the Quran or the Torah, Muslims, Jewish religions, will say, no, Jesus was just another prophet. What makes the difference? Well, he's the only prophet that was buried in a tomb, and there's a lot of differences, by the way, but this is the big one. He was the only prophet that was buried in a tomb, big old stone rolled over it, and 3 days later the stone was rolled back, which nobody could do easily, and he was gone. No sign of him whatsoever, even though there had been guards positioned out in front of it, just for that reason. So, people I've heard will conjecture, well, that's just a story made up, and you also heard the stories of where he came back with the holes in his hands and his feet and visited with his disciples and a few others and talked to them before he finally went back to heaven for good. When I say good, he's still here, but as in that form. My question would be, why would there be so many different people making up that same story? Why would there be the need to do that? What would they gain out of that? I can tell you what they did gain. The disciples of Jesus, who did what he asked them to do, which was to spread the good news, the gospel, teach what Jesus taught to the ends of the earth, got killed, beaten, punished. That's what they got for what people said they were lying about. So why would they lie about it? They didn't lie about it. They wholeheartedly believed in it, and they wholeheartedly believed what Jesus asked them to do, and they needed to get out and get busy doing it. Jesus was asked at one point by a Pharisee, which was trying to trap him, what is the greatest commandment? Jesus answered them that the greatest commandment is love God your Lord with all your heart, soul, body, mind, and strength, some say. And the second, right under that, is love your neighbor as you love yourself. All the other prophets and all the other laws hang on those two. So what he was saying was that it all boils down to love, a wholehearted love of God first, all your heart and soul, your mind, your body, your strength, everything, and to love each other in that same way. And if we could accomplish those things, oh, what a wonderful world it would be, right? So, if that's what being a Christian is, and that's what Jesus taught us, doesn't sound too bad to me. What do you think? Leave me your thoughts down below. We can end up talking by email, Zoom calls, whatever you want to do, but I'd love to talk to people about it, hear your viewpoints and your opinions, but that's where I sit on that one, and there'll be plenty more videos. I just break them down to be shorter because I don't like long videos. Talk to you later. Have a blessed day.